Hello everyone, my name is Alexa and welcome to my channel. This is part 2 of my dad series on Splash Mountain specifically, so let's get right into it. If you haven't seen it already, be sure to look at part 1 for some further information on this ride. Now that we know the basic plot of the ride, let's talk about the films that go with this ride. So there's actually 2. The first being the film that this ride is based on, Song of the South, which I already talked about, the plot points of that film that are in the ride, and the ride follows the animated portion of the movie, but it is joint animated and live action. Song of the South came out in 1946, so it actually did this technique way before Mary Poppins. So it's a big moment in Disney film history to join this animation with live action in a full feature-length film. So this film follows Uncle Remus, who's played by James Baskett. For his portrayal of Uncle Remus in the film, he won an honorary Academy Award in 1948, making him the first black male performer to receive an Oscar. Unfortunately, he was banned from attending the film's premiere in Atlanta because at that point it was still a segregated city. And Johnny, I don't know the actor who plays that, but Johnny is the plantation owner's son, and Uncle Remus is a former slave that still lives on the plantation. Johnny finds friendship in Uncle Remus and his cautionary tales about Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear, and they kind of help Johnny adjust to his new life on this plantation because he just moved there while his father is off doing something. I don't remember, but he had to go north, I think. I don't know. Johnny really hates being here. He wants to go back home, and so Uncle Remus helps him adjust. Anyway, this film is, of course, extremely controversial, and you will find no trace of it from Disney themselves besides the Splash Mountain ride. This was in 1946, so civil rights movement has not happened yet. And with that being said, there are certainly aspects of the film that could have been handled better. So what Disney did with this film was trying not to offend the North or the South in its portrayal of the Reconstruction era, and this led to an utter failure and glorification of slavery. But this film did do a lot for the film industry in terms of historical landmarks, so that's really what I wanted to talk about with it. What's most remembered from the film is the song Zippity-Doo-Dah, which was played on the ride and featured in some parades and some Main Street music. That won the Academy Award in 1948 for Best Original Song. One of the female lead actresses is Hattie McDaniel, who is probably most notably known from her role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind, and she plays Aunt Tempe in Song of the South, but she is another really notable actress, and she, for her role in Gone with the Wind, won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, and she was actually the first African American to ever win an Oscar. So there's a lot of film history in this film despite all of its controversy. And I happen to have a bootleg copy, so I have seen this film in full. So I just wanted to read the back of the case because I think it's really interesting. So the art of animation and live action are blended brilliantly to create Song of the South. This wonderfully colorful spectacle is filled with fascinating characters, including the smart and witty Brer Rabbit and his bumbling sidekick Brer Bear. Now, that is really interesting because in no way is Brer Bear the sidekick of Brer Rabbit in the film or in the ride. Really, I would say he's like a neutral character. He just doesn't really have the brain power to commit to a side. He just kind of does whatever is asked of him. Anyway, featuring an Academy Award-winning song and dazzling animated effects, it has become a memorable and beloved family classic. Obviously. Anyway, so that's the film, like, in its case, if you were interested in seeing that. And this is a bootleg copy, but there it is. It certainly, like, putting controversy aside, it's not the best Disney movie I've ever seen. Like, it is a very long movie. Well, it felt very long. But anyway, it was definitely interesting to actually watch this movie that has had so much buzz about it. So the second film that I wanted to talk about is one that I actually had no idea even existed, and that is Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain. It's like 22 minutes long. You can find the whole thing on YouTube. So Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain was created for the opening of Splash Mountain in Disneyland, to kind of promote it. And so basically you have Ernest, which apparently was like a popular character that would do like these little tidbits. I guess I'm too young. I've never heard of him. So the basic premise is that he is going to be the first person to ride Splash Mountain, and he's called a Splastronaut. And so he goes through all this training to like get ready to go on Splash Mountain, and then he like goes on the ride. So it was just like a funny little promotional episode for the ride, which is really interesting. I'm going to have to watch it in full. I haven't watched it yet, and I can put the link in the description for anyone who wants to watch it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments on other rides you want me to do a dad for, then please let me know. Anyway, goodbye and have an Alexa-Dee-Doo-Dah day.